Hi there. Thank you for joining me. So today we're going to be working. Yesterday we picked out our papers and stuff, right? So today we're going to be working on assembling the signatures. Okay? And I've done a couple things already. I remade the folder. Yesterday we made it and it was too little and I inked the edges. And that's just perfect now. The height is exactly the same. And the envelopes are a little taller than the signatures, but it's 8 1/4 and our cover's 8 1/2, so it'll be just perfect. Perfect. So we're going to set the cover aside so it doesn't get damaged. I'm going to pull this paper out. This is the lined paper. It's white paper with gray lines, and I didn't like anything I had that had blue lines. So we're just going to use this. And I was going to use the composition notebook, but I'm not going to because I like the composition notebook to get a full width for wider journals. And these are only 4-inch wide, so I don't want to use the composition paper for these 4-inch wide because I don't need it, you know. So I'm just going to save this for the bigger journal that and I will use it in there. Okay? So and I don't want this one to get too thick. So what we're going to do is we're going to, it looks pretty neat. Okay. I'm going to measure this because it needs to be 8 inches wide. And it is 8 1/2. So we need to trim it down. Let me set stuff aside. I need to set these signatures aside for a second. I'm going to go ahead and get my bigger rotary cutter out of here. So we're just going to do this 5 at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to cut it on this side. And it needs to be exactly, oh well, we'll make it a little under 8 so it doesn't, because we have to trim that anyway. So I'm going to make it just barely under 8. Okay, I don't know if I want, you know what? This side has a wide, this is technically the bottom, but it has a more scaled margin. This margin's an awful lot. So I think I'm just going to flip it upside down and pretend this is the top wide margin. I mean, top wide area, you know? And then we're going to cut this 8 inches. And it can be right at 8 inches. It doesn't have to be under because we don't need to accommodate. There. There, I like that. And then that's just a smaller version of that. You see? So let's do the same here. And we will cut this side. And we're going to go just a hair under 8 inches, right? And we're going to make this the top. And that can be exactly 8 inches. Okay. So there, we've got both of those done. We will set that aside. I might use it for something, I don't know, or notes. I keep some scrap paper in front of me. Okay. I'm wondering if I can do these on here. These need trimmed. And I'm going to try to do them on here. And let me measure and see. Well, no, I can just do this at 4 inches. Okay. Okay. Well, heck, it was too thick. No, it's fine. It got it. And then that will go in there. And it will be within. I don't like that overhang of the bunched, the cumulative width or thickness of the page extends out past the signature. Not crazy about that. Okay, that one's not sticking out. So we're going to just cut 3 of them right at 4 inches. Do you all trim that cumulative thickness off of the right edge? I just don't think it looks good. I usually do it by hand, but this is only a few sheets. And I think I can get away with it on my rotary cutter. Okay, there we go. That's nice. Okay, and this one does need to be trimmed. This red one, I can see some of it. Okay. And we're going to set that right at 4 inches. Maybe just under. Okay. There. So there, see, we've got both of our signatures neatly trimmed on the edge. Yes? And let's see where our paper is. Let's see if it needs trimmed when we assemble it. Okay. Okay. You know, I'm okay with that. That's just inside. I'm okay with that much. I think it'll be okay. Or should we trim it? Crap. I don't know. I will. I'll trim it to be just under 4 inches. Okay, that might be better. And again, I forgot to turn the overhead light off. Hope it's not too dark. Okay. And we're within that too. Okay. Alrighty. So, next, okay, let me clean my mess up. And then next we're going to make the folder, and I did have one vote on what paper to use. It was Rhonda, and she said use the speckled paper. She liked the newsprint, but the speckled got her final vote. Okay, so we are going to glue this. Now this you do glue all the way down. Let me just make sure I'm in. Okay. It doesn't take much. It does not take hardly any glue. Okay? So we're going to pull this forward, and this is exactly, I made like you might remember, you might have seen, I made like 50 envelope journals, and I sold a few as to use as like gifts and stuff. I thought it would be a good introduction to journaling because I had a friend that thought a journal was too much. My daughter showed one at work and they were like, oh my God, it's too much, you can't do it. And then I had an idea to make a more simple envelope journal. And I made about 50 of them, and the lady liked them. And this is what I used for the cover. Because I buy envelopes and paper and stuff in bulk. And I had so many supplies. So that we're going to measure this. The height of it is 8 1/4, so we're going to make it 8 1/8, and the width of it is 9, but we only want it to be 8 1/2, and then that will be 4 1/4, because that's what I did here. I just folded 8 1/2 paper. So we are going to cut off 1/4 inch off each side. Okay. I'm just going to do that on this cutter. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. So we are going to cut off 1/4 inch. I think I will use the rotary cutter. Hope that doesn't move the camera. There. This rotary cutter is a little more precise and a little more less crude, because sometimes that cutter will catch it wrong and tear it and stuff. So this one, it's rotary, so it rolls, so it's not going to catch it wrong. Okay. And it's the right height. And then I have another piece here. And again, I'm going to measure, because this is 8 1/4. Yes, so we're going to cut this. It's 8 1/4 high. And so we're going to cut this at 8 1/8. And width is 8 1/2, I believe. So, okay, we'll just cut this down one shy of 8 1/2. Okay, so that is up. Okay, that blotch there is the top. All right. No, this is the width. This is the width. And how am I going to do this? I'm going to draw, and I'll erase it. In height, we want it to be, this is width, I'm sorry. And then height, we want it to be 8. I'm just double checking. That's 8 1/4. So we want that to be 8. And then 8's too little. So we want that to be 8 1/8. So there's 8 1/4, and we want it to be right there. I think I'll just do it in the middle. Okay. So I just cut off the width part, that doesn't matter. So this is technically it should be this. Let's make sure before we score it. Before we score it. Nope, that doesn't look right. Well, heck, what did we do? Okay, yeah, that's the width. And then I don't know. I think I want just a hair trimmed off the height because I like the width. The height is exactly the same, and I need it to be just a hair shorter. Yeah, I like that better. And then that gives us the same amount. I'm sorry, this is math, but I don't know why I'm struggling with the math this time. Okay, we're going to call that good. Now I can't move it. So I'm just going to fold it right now. And I don't need to put it on a score tool and get it out of place. So we're just going to fold it right now. Make sure we don't change anything. Okay. Okay. So here what we're going to do is we're not going to glue this part, because if we glue this to this, then then our pocket won't go past that if this is glued down. So we're going to clear that. We're going to leave that clear. And then I'm going to do one more thing just to show you. And we know this goes right up to the edge. And we're not going to use glue. Oops. We're not going to use glue or glue stick or anything. We don't need to. We just need to barely glue this down. And I'm just barely squeezing. Okay. And you can see there's not much glue going on. It doesn't take much to hold this. It's not going anywhere. And we're using such a small amount that we don't really need to use a glue stick. Okay. Then I'm going to show you one more thing. If you just push this up against the middle and then arrange it top and bottom. Then you're just going to lay it down. Okay? Now that side's done. Now, something I have just started doing, because this is not attached anywhere in here, right? And that is so we can still get something all the way down in the pocket. Okay, so that is not attached anywhere along there, right? Unless glue is hanging it up. There. So what we're going to do is, just to give this some strength, so this is not loose and, uncooperative, or, gets a mind of its own. With this glue tip, I'm pushing down, so it's really not allowing much glue to come out. Not much at all, the tiniest amount. And I'm just going down that bottom seam. And that won't take away from our pocket any, because we're just going right down the bottom. Okay? And that will just ever so barely glue that. Now we're going to lift it up, because I still need to do this. And then I've got another idea. I'm going to put a little bit of glue under that. there. And we're going to do it folded. Candace, this is what I was telling you. If you do it, if it's going to spend most of its life folded, okay, then you fold it and give it all the room it needs to be nice and folded. Now that's not saying when you open it up flat, you're not going to have a little bit of stuff going on, but this will give it plenty of room that it needs to be folded, and it won't tear when you do fold it. Because if we glued it flat and got this all smooth, and then we go to fold it, it's not going to have room. See how much more room it needs to be folded? Okay? And that's great. And I'm going to leave the hallmark on the front so we can cover that up with embellishment. And then this, I might use that. Okay, we'll use that. Because this I messed up. Remember last night? I guess I don't know how to. So we know we need to go less than 4 inches here. Very much less than 4 inches. Okay. And this, we're going to cut off more to clear for the glue. Okay, and then we're going to, we could leave that on there, why not? Oh, we didn't clear the glue. That's okay, we'll just put paper on the back. And then here. Okay. And we didn't clear the glue over there either. And we're going to do that. Okay, okay. And then these will be our pocket pieces, and then wherever there was glue going on, I will put the paper on that side. Right there. And I don't see the other side. I guess it wasn't much. There. Okay. And we will cover those with paper in a minute. Or at a point of embellishment. But right now, they are a good size to fit in here. So this is repurposing the mistake of the folder of the wrong cut. So that's nice. That matches. That's good. That's great. Like that. Then this, let's see. Does it look bad? Nah, I don't think it does. I was going to line the inside of this pocket, but I don't think it needs it. I think it's fine. And like I said, I'm going to, this one of these tucks inside and one of them wraps around the outside. So on this side, we see the Hallmark logo, and I don't want that on there. So what I'm going to do is leave that on the front, and I will embellish something over that. Okay, because this side's perfectly clear, and I'm least likely to embellish the back. So then I will do that. Okay, now we can start assembly. I don't know what this is. And I need to wrap this up. I have a doctor's appointment in 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So here what we're going to do is okay, we're going to do that. And that. And that. And that. And then I was not going to, yeah, I guess I will. It'll be okay because I aged them. And then this thing, oh, I was going to put that at the top because I kind of made it wonky. Let's see, which of these is 8 inches? The height, yes. So I can put that there. I over inked it. You gotta, this stuff, you just gotta be careful with inking, don't you? It's like you have to put it on and then brush it all off. You know? Otherwise you end up with a dark spot. So I probably dabbed more off of my brush than I used. I don't like that. I need to figure that out. So there. And that's right in front. And I want that in back. And look at that. Isn't that ugly? I'm not, this Tim Holtz ink is a lot stronger than I'm used to. Well, we'll have to embellish that because I don't like the look of that. It looks a little sloppy. Or this paper is just a different thing. I don't know. So here, yeah, see? I thought that plain white, plain red piece could use that. And I didn't know if I was going to use paper because I thought white paper next to a white doily, but since I've, aged it a little. And looky there, our edges are nice and neat. So we're going to do the same thing here. Isn't that pretty? Daisies. Yes, and I have the right side up on these. I like using the bottom as the top on here. That worked out well. And we got nice clear edges. And I'm going to have to put that at the bottom. That's the dark spot on this one. Okay. And I will go to my doctor's appointment, and then I will come back and I will make another short video on installing or sewing in the signatures. Okay? Now that this is all we're going to do. I'm not using 85 pages like I usually do. There, I like that in front better. And then here, look here. Let me show you what we got, our 2 signatures, and they're ready to sew in now. And I do it 2 different ways. For a while, I did prefer to decorate the pages flat like this as I went and then assembled them. I think it's less handling and less, like see there's a bend there. It's less of that kind of thing. But since there's a bend, but that's okay. We can cover all this up with stuff. Any mistakes we've made so far, we'll just cover them up with an embellishment, right? And I think this one I'm gonna assemble it and then embellish it. Okay, we're doing it different here, and I like it. I like it a lot. So then one of these signatures is going to be wrapped with a folder. Okay, and the other signature is going to be wrapped with the envelope, or the envelopes, plural. There and there, yes. Let's see, why is that sticking out? I don't know why this one's a little wider. I'm just going to trim it because it was looking bulky on the edge. And we want clean edges. Okay. because it was the furthest inside piece there. That clears it all now. Okay, good. I like the edges neat. There, and there's our 2 signatures. And when I come back from my doctor, I'm going to, let's see, I will have to, I don't want the gray in front because the gray, since it's on that side, it needs to be that way. And then we're going to embellish the top one, right? And I'm not crazy about the gray. So we will put, I think, I like this one better on top. Because then that goes straight to gold. So that looks, that matches a little better. You think? Of course, I might change my mind. We don't know. There. So that is what we've got. And I've got a little bit room to embellish. We don't have we can't add another 1/4 or 1/2 inch of embellishment, so we'll have to take it easy. And that's fine. So then when I come back, we are going to sew in the signatures, okay? Thanks so much for watching. Love you, bye.